Time now for business with Collaterlie Sisters.
Thanks, Chris.
Take her off the monitor, I don't want to see her face.
And no let-up today for British manufacturers. There were large profit slumps for Securivag and United Ha-Ha, down 6.4, joining Collins Perhaps units on a lower third rung. There was better news for Edgeledge Wedgebarge, who mustered 2.41 up 88 very slightly, but Oxy McGee flew back a ninth, despite a creeping bid from Connected Breath Dumps at 4. On the currency markets, how did the pound fare? A quick glance at the currency CAD. Not too well, I'm afraid. There's a disconcerting 47-degree slope against the dollar, yen and Deutschmark. And if we project, in 4 months, the pound leg is effectively amputated, leading to a rogue leg with no hip constituency at all. Overall, then, for tomorrow's markets, good evening. Slightly fractious in the 9s and 7s. Chris.
That's an amazing coincidence, Alan, because last week, Collaterlie Sisters, you were involved in a car crash in which you were the only survivor. Only because you landed in somebody's stomach.
And it was a rather cowy night for the pound. It stood at 3.79 against the German Bordello. That's up 0.5 against the Portuguese sterling and down 100 against the bitch. Earlier, there was confusion in the markets when France and Spain swapped their currencies and trading remained succulent for the rest of the day. Thanks, Chris. Here at home, from tomorrow, the new Bank of England £5 note comes into circulation. The notes, which feature the head of Iggy Pop, can only be used once.
Thanks, Collaterlie. Time now for business with Collaterlie Sisters.
Thanks, Chris.
You do it! Get it now! No, you get it! It's over there!
Arguments like that broke out on the international markets today when economic talks collapsed and Spain withdrew from the world and began trading with itself. The peseta burst open at 4. The pound was barely audible this morning. It rotted by 3.9 points against the dollar, and there was further bad news for coat developers Watney Heckbulb, who were ordered to cease trading because of bad burping. Chris. On now to the money markets and a quick look at the international finance arse. And there you can see the US and Japanese cheeks started off with a gap of 2.4, but increased trading forced the two together to form a unified arse at around lunchtime, which held for the rest of the day. In summary then, oh no, Chris? Thanks, Chris. And there was a big whoop of dismay in the city today, Chris, when Troublefinch Dusky Holdings chopped off an eighth at 2.4 after a disappointing gutter surge tomorrow, Chris. The Central Numerical Council issued the new 7 today. It'll be 3 kilos heavier than the old 7 and made of glass. Chris, Collaterlie Sisters. SPAC Handy Chop Tubes up 2.4, but let's see how the pound fared today with a quick look at the currency Susan. And as you can see, it started off the day quite healthily as a medium Susan, while the yen surged to a quite attractive, popular Susan by close of trading, with the mark resting on a plain, dumpy Susan with bad ears. Chris, summary, business, Chris.